Alright, welcome back, welcome back. Today we're gonna do Phyrexia. And that's it. That's the last we're gonna do. This is like right after the Assassin's Creed one, but we're already jumping into it. If you've enjoyed these Magic the Gathering videos, let me know what you think down below of just some of these unboxings. I want to get collector's boosters, but I can't afford them. So I'm getting a lot of play boosters and a lot of bundles. But anyways, go ahead and take a look at some of these. I like the slick oils. I've never seen a whole lot of Phyrexia. I believe I'm saying that right too, but it's a lot of toxic, which is really fun looking. That one's super cool. That one's sick looking. Elish Norn, that's who I was thinking of. That's super cool. I want to end up pulling her. Hopefully I can. There's two missing. Or am I just stupid? I feel like there's a few missing. Weird. Isn't there supposed to be 30 in here? I feel like there's a few of them missing. That's weird. Huh. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and do it in stacks of 3. Stacks of 3. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's one stack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2 stack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that's all 3 stacks. So that's what we're going to be opening. So enough of the talking and the annoyances. Let's go ahead and get into this. Gonna be a lot more cards than what I was dealing with last time. This time I can open them like this because they actually tear easier. Gonna be a lot of commons. I don't know how these ones pull either. Come on, Chimney Rabble. That one's cool looking. This one is a token. Weirdo is flipped upside down for some reason. Chimney Rabble. Ace. When Chimney Rabble enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 red Phyrexian Goblin creature token. Ooh. Fencer. Corpse Puppet. Lifelink Toxic 1. Whenever you proliferate, choose 1. If you don't control a creature named the Hollow Sentinel, create the Hollow Sentinel. A legendary 3/3 colorless Phyrexian Golem. Artifact creature token. Target artifact creature you control gains supplying a lifelink until end of turn. That one's just cool looking. So that's going to be our rares. And then our commons, uncommons, and lands. So we have our rares, mythics, rares, uncommons, commons. Ooh, Rustvine Cultivator. That thing is cool looking. Put an oil counter on Rustvine Cultivator. Remove an oil counter from Rustvine Cultivator. Untap. Target land. That is cool looking. I like the oil look. What is this one now? Creature, Phyrexian Imp. Flying Corrupted. As long as an opponent has 3 or more poison counters, Bone Picker Scourge has Death Touch and Lifelink. That one's cool looking. I'm just enjoying the look of these cards. I don't even care super much if they're like commons. Here's an uncommon here. Flying. Trawler Drake enters the battlefield with an oil counter on it. Drake gets 1/1 for each oil counter on it. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put an oil counter on Trawler Drake. Super dope. Super dope. An uncommon. That one right there. Let's see. Phyrexian Chimera. Flying. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put an oil counter on Serum Core Chimera. Remove 3 oil counters from Serum Core Chimera. Draw a card, then may discard a card, a non-land. When you discard a card this way, Serum Core Chimera deals 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker. Activate only as a sorcery. That's a nice little uncommon. I like that one. Uncommon. Flying Watch for Blisterzoa. That's cool looking though. Enters the battlefield with an oil counter on it. When Watchful Blisteria dies, draw cards equal to the number of oil counters on it. Uncommon. Common. Forge Hammer Centaurian. I might go through these a little quicker. That one's cool looking though. Yeah, I might go through these a little quicker. I got a lot more to go to. Adaptive Spore Singer. Battlefield, choose 1, target gets 2/2 and gains vigilance until end of turn and proliferate. Gotta put a lot of proliferate in there. If I do anything. That was a common too. I can put a lot of commons that proliferate. Move an oil counter from Rustspine Cultivator, untap target land. Put an oil counter on Rustspine Cultivator. That one's also a common. There's a lot of fun looking commons in there. I'm skim through them. And we got a fun little instant. Another common. 2 damage to target creature. That creature is toxic. Hex Gold Slash deals 4 damage to that creature instead. They got some cool looking commons. I like the Phyrexia set so far, just style alone. It looks really nice. Art card. Oh, forgot to show the art card. It goes this way. Focus. Come on, you. It won't focus that well, but it's cool looking. That's sick. I'll put that right there. Alright, next pack. We're on pack number 2. I've already taken too long on pack 1, so we're going to run through these fairly quickly. It's already been 5 minutes? Yeah, I need to run through these much faster. So we're just going to go off of commons, uncommons, commons, rares, and mythics. I want to go through them very quickly, but maybe it's better to go through them slowly. A little art card. That one's cool as hell. I'm going to get a lot of art cards out of this, supposedly. Count life into tournaments and more. Alright. Already a foil. 1 mythic already. Artifact creature, toxic 1. Players dealt combat damage by this creature also get a poison counter. Pay 2 life, add 1 mana of any color. That's pretty dope. I like the Myers, or the Mirrors, sorry. A little foil. What is this guy? Sulfum? Mayhem Dominus. A source you control would deal non-combat damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls. It deals double the damage to that player or permanent instead. Discard 2 cards, put indestructible counter on Sulfum. Mayhem Dominus. A 2 can be paid with either red or 2 life. Cool. Cool little mythic so far. I like that common. Sawblade Scamp. I think it's cool looking. Ace, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put an oil counter on Sawblade Scamp. Remove an oil counter from Sawblade Scamp. It deals 1 damage to each opponent. Tap it. Another uncommon. Mirror Convert. Toxic 1. Pay 2 life. Add color of any mana. A little mana dork. I believe that is a uncommon. Yep. I did that correctly. I'm doing these very, very awkwardly. Another uncommon, Toxic 2. I can build a lot of toxic stuff. This is Zombie Cleric, that's cool. Toxic 2, players dealt combat damage by this creature also gets 2 poison counters. You can kill somebody quick with Toxic, I believe, too, because you have to have 10 Toxic counters in order to lose. Whenever a creature you control with Toxic deals combat damage to a player, that player gets an additional poison counter. You pay a swamp and a forest, and 1 colorless. Target creature you control with Toxic gains Death Touch till end of turn. This is going to be a fun deck to build, actually. Enchantment or enchantment you control. Enchant creature has Toxic 2. Whenever enchantment creature dies, return that card to the battlefield under your control. These would be cool for like win cons too, because Toxic is kind of like its own win con. Sorcery. An additional cost, sacrifice the spell, pay 4, or sacrifice an artifact creature. For target creature or planeswalker. They're cool little common. I get a lot of these nice little full art commons. Target creature can go +2/+2 until end of turn. If that creature has Toxic, draw a card. Okay, this would be a lot of fun to build out of. You draw 2 cards and you lose 2 life. Each opponent gains a poison counter. A lot of poison counters. Jesus. Is it? Yeah, it is a poison counter. So 10 poison counters, I believe, is the end of the game. A touch, Toxic 1. Opening Scap Trap. Super cool. Looking enters battlefield or dies, proliferate. Ooh, okay, that's cool. And then the Phyrexian lands. I do love these things a lot. These things are so pretty. The Phyrexian lands are just so nice looking. That's one of the draws that made me want to get this set, is for that reason too, is for the lands, because I think the lands are sick as hell. I like those and the Kamigawa ones. Kamigawa ones, those ones, and the Dragonstorm ones are my favorite. Dragonstorm ones you get from the boosters anyways. What's this one? Eye of Malcator. An Eye of Malcator enters the battlefield, scry 2. Look at the top 2 of your library. Put any number of them on the bottom. Rest on the top in any order. Whenever another artifact enters the battlefield under your control, Eye of Malcator becomes a 4/4 Phyrexian Eye artifact creature until end of turn. Do these a little quickly. Another rare. I've heard a lot about Sheoldred. I've seen her a lot. I know people hate her. I want to build out of her. Permanent cards in graveyards can't enter the battlefield. Players can't cast non-creature spells from graveyards or exile. That's pretty sad. A lot of people are going to cast cards from exile, or graveyards, I mean, but it's going to be mainly creatures. Caster Bloom or Canker Bloom, if it'll focus. Sacrifice Canker Bloom, choose one. Destroy target artifact, destroy target enchantment, and proliferate. There's a lot of proliferate choices, which come in handy because you can just boost counters and everything. Canker Bloom is cool as shit looking. So many of these cards just look so pretty. I'm going to have so many cards after this. Whenever you proliferate, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. That would come in handy. Especially if I put a lot of focus into proliferating. This thing could be broken. Turn target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand, proliferate. Dude, I told you. So many of these proliferate ones. Phyrexian Jellyfish. Saw this one earlier. Apostle of Invasion. Flying corrupted as long as an opponent has 3 or more poison counters. Apostle of Invasion has double strike. Super dope. I like it. Land. Ooh, that thing is sick looking. Furnace enters battlefield tapped. Add 1 red. Sacrifice this autonomous furnace. Draw a card. It's like a commander spear. Some of these are just really cool. Sacrifice Furnace Skull Bomb. Draw a card. Sacrifice Furnace Skull Bomb. Put 2 oil counters on target artifact or creature you control. Draw a card. Activate only as a sorcery. I'm gonna get hate, but I don't really know what the oil counters do. I need to look into it. I just know I thought this set looked really, really nice. And I like the proliferate and a lot of the toxic counters. Furnace Strider enters the battlefield with 2 oil counters on it. Remove an oil counter from Furnace Strider. Target creature you control gains haste until end of turn. Phyrexian Warlock. Toxic 1. Singing Hive Master dies. Create a 1/1 colorless Phyrexian Might artifact creature token with Toxic 1, and this creature can't block. Was that a common? We got a cool little Phyrexian Forest. I think I'm saying that right, Phyrexian. And we got a beautiful little art card again. Oh, that's cool. That is sick looking. I don't know if I'm holding it right, but it's cool as hell. Yeah, that's it. I think that's right. That's cool as shit. I like the style of this deck. I think they said, a lot of people said that they have Junji Ito looking art for a lot of these. I don't know if Junji Ito actually did them, or if they just look like Junji Ito because they're black and white. But I'm curious. And I already see something interesting. It's another art card. I'm getting a lot of art cards. Bone Picker Scourge. That thing is so cool looking, dude. There's so many cool ass looking cards. I don't want to cuss too much, but that's just cool as shit looking. Bone Picker Scourge. Brand, Executioner Thane. Whenever one or more other creatures you control die, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. This ability triggers only once each turn. And this one's a foil. Super pretty. There's a lot of fun cards in this deck. And a lot of toxic counters to these people. Nice little rare. Rare. Who's that? Sinew Dancer? Can't see it. Okay, you can pay 3 colorless and a plains, tap target creature, corrupted, pay 1 plains, tap target creature, activate only if opponent has 3 or more poison counters. That thing is so cool looking, dude. That's sick. It's funny because this is a, these are just, I think these are draft boosters. No, they're set boosters. Super, super nice too. Trawler Drake. I'll put all my uncommon in one area. Chant basic land you control. When ossification enters the battlefield, exile target creature or planeswalker and opponent controls until ossification leaves the battlefield. That's cool. Porcelain Zealot. Zealot, I believe. At the beginning of your combat on your turn, target creature you control gets 1/1. Until end of turn, that creature has toxic. Instead, it gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Double Strike Toxic 1. Phyrexian Soldier. Jawbone Duelist. That thing is cool looking. So many cool ass looking cards. Target creature gets +3/+1 until end of turn. Exile the top card of your library until end of your next turn. You may play that card. So many cool cards, dude. I don't play a lot of red, but it's cool. The only one I played was Wyleth for a long time. Holdotha. Cackler attacks, it gains plus X plus 0 until end of turn, where X is the number of permanents you control with oil counters on them. Probably going to be a lot. Knowing how many oil counter cards are in here. Forge Hammer Centurion, I think. Said that right. Artifact creature, Phyrexian construct, flying. Super dope. Hopefully y'all can read the cards. I'm going to try to go through these somewhat quick. Plains card. And Phyrexian look and font. How many of these are just so cool? Look at that cool little fella. That's the Cackler, I believe, that I just read. And these are all uncommon. Put our mythics, our rares, and our uncommons together. Where they're supposed to go. I'm barely through one column. Okay, I'm gonna try to get through these somewhat quickly. I don't want to do them too quick. I know people get mad. Magic minigame, Winchester draft. Maze Skull Bomb. That thing's cool looking. Sacrifice Maze Skull Bomb, draw a card, sacrifice, or pay 2 colorless and a 4, sacrifice Maze Skull Bomb, target creature you control gets +3/+3 and gains trample until end of turn, draw a card, activate only as a sorcery. Oh! Karumonix, the Rat King, that thing is cool looking. Toxic 1, other rats you control have Toxic 1. When Karumonix enters the battlefield, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal any number of rat cards from among them and put the revealed cards into your hand. Put the rest in the bottom of your library at any order. That thing is super dope looking. Cool rare. I like a lot of these rare cards. Ooh, Mire Convert. That thing is cool looking. Toxic 1, pay 2 life, add mana of any color. That thing is cool looking. Uncommon. Serum Core Chimera. Drown in Ichor. I've heard this is a really good card too. Target creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn. Proliferate. So you proliferate regardless. And you can take out one of their creatures along the way. That's pretty dope. Nimraiser Paladin. Toxic 2. Nimraiser Paladin enters the battlefield. Return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from the graveyard to your hand. Oops, sorry about that. Creature, come on. Phyrexian Druid. Oh wait, no, that's Spore Singer again. Specifying Cultivator. Axiom Engraver. Bone Picker Scourge. Super dope looking card. Fleshless Gladiator. Corrupted. Pay 2 and 1 swamp. Return Fleshless Gladiator from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. You lose 1 life. Activate only if an opponent has 3 or more poison counters. That's gotta happen. Ooh. Ooh, that swamp is so sick looking. And then an art card at the end. I get a lot of these art cards now. I think there's an art card on every one of these if I'm not wrong. That is sick looking. I really hope I get some really, really fun things later. I know there's a bunch of good cards in here. I just don't know which ones. Okay, I got my uncommons and stuff together. I got a few rares so far. I'll show you all at the end what I got all together. I'll just go through and skim through them just to show you all what I got. Trying not to be here for a few hours. Collector Ophi. Activate abilities of artifacts can't be activated. That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. That in the rare category. Shrapnel Slinger. Shrapnel Slinger enters the battlefield. You may sacrifice a creature. When you do, destroy a target artifact an opponent controls. Artifact destruction is going to be a thing. Ooh, Filigree Silex. Put an oil counter on Filigree Silex. Sacrifice Filigree Silex. Destroy each non-land permanent with mana value equal to the number of oil counters the Silex or on the Filigree Silex. Remove 10 oil counters from among permanents you control and sacrifice the Filigree Silex. It deals 10 damage to any target. That's crazy. I can boost it with oil counters and then take them off and do some serious damage. Bone Picker Scourge. He's such a cool looking card. Chittering Skitterling. Corrupted. Sacrifice an artifact or creature. Draw a card. Activate only if an opponent has 3 or more poison counters or only once each turn. I think I've seen people also sacrifice the Skitterlings too. Slaughter Singer. Hold on. Slaughter Singer. Toxic 2. Whenever another creature you control with toxic attacks, it gains +1/+1 until end of turn. Dude, some of these cards are just crazy. Death Touch. Bilious Skull-Dweller. Toxic 1. Oil Gorger Troll. Cool looking card as well. Troll enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life. Then if you control a permanent with an oil counter on it, draw a card. I can put a lot of oil cards in here. Prophetic Prism. Prophetic Prism enters the battlefield, draw a card, add 1 mana of any color, so it's a mana rock. That's pretty dope. That right there. Listener Seer. Enters a battlefield with 3 oil counters on it. Remove an oil counter from Glistener Seer. Scry 1. So I can remove oil counters in order to scry. Pretty funny. Pretty funny. Not funny, but fun. Ooh, Phyrexian Dinosaur. Tyrannix Atrocity. Ace Toxic 3. There's a lot of toxics in here. A lot of fun toxics in here. Creature, tap target creature. A3 and a plains. Continue Dancer. And Swamp. I like a lot of these full arts. I don't think I've got a single basic sense. So many of these are just so nice looking. Then a art card. So far, I have good hopes about this pack. That thing is sick looking. A lot of these art cards are just really, really pretty. I'm gonna have a lot of bulk coming off of this set. Oh shit. I mixed them up. These cards really like to move. I'm barely through the first column, and it's already been 20 minutes. It's gonna take forever. Okay. Come on. Can't rush perfection. This one's cool. Secret Lair. Ooh, come on. Load, baby, load. Load. Cross Pits enters the battlefield tapped. Add 1 swamp. 1 colorless in a swamp. Sacrifice it. Draw a card. Ooh, I got Planeswalker. Nahiri the Unforgiven. I can add 1 until your next turn. Up to 1 target creature attacks a player each combat if able. +1 discard a card, then draw a card. So I can discard a card and draw a card free. Exile target creature or equipment card with mana value less than... Oh, Nahiri's Loyalty from your graveyard. Create a token that's a copy of it. Token gains haste. Exile it at the beginning of the next end step. This thing is crazy. It's a fun little mythic. Crazy little Planeswalker. Did I get another mythic back-to-back? Legendary Dragon. Chiskoria, Forged Tyrant. Affinity for artifacts. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each artifact you control. Flying Haste. Whenever Chiskoria, Forged Tyrant attacks, exile the top 5 cards of your library. You may cast an artifact spell from among them this turn. If you do, it is affinity for artifacts. Expensive. Another mythic though is crazy work. Frostfying Culvinator, and then I guess we're gonna go through them like this. I kind of like doing them slow and steady. Some of them just come out really cool. Bladed Ambassador. Indestructible until end of turn. Cool. Was he? He wasn't. Uncommon. Panic Century. Distorted Curiosity. Quicksilver Fisher. Flensing Raptor. A lot of toxics in here. Love it. Love it. Instant. Hexgold Slash deals 2 damage to target creature. If that creature has a toxic, Hexgold Slash deals 4 damage to that creature instead. Damn! Goldborn's Helm. That thing's cool looking. Oh! And then I got a pretty little island. Thing is dope. It's not foil, but it's cool looking. I love the Phyrexian lands. That's cool. That's fucking sick. Okay, we're getting somewhere with these. We're getting somewhere for sure. I'm pretty happy I bought this already. So far I'm getting a lot of fun little cards. Lots and lots of rares and uncommons. I got a lot of commons, but I got a lot of rares and uncommons to balance it out. And then I got 2 mythics back to back, and I'm only on the first column. So my luck stays good all the way through. Got a lot of cards to go through. Free from Flesh. Another common. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Put 2 oil counters on it. Common. This one's a rare. Monumental Facade. Monumental Facade enters the battlefield with 2 oil counters on it. Remove or add 1 colorless. Remove an oil counter from the Monumental Facade. Put an oil counter on target artifact or creature you control. Activate only as a sorcery. I heard this card is broken, or it can be. Crazy for a land card. Ooh, Necrogen Rot Priest. That thing is cool looking. I like a lot of these arts, dude. These things are just sick looking. Toxic 2. Whenever a creature you control with Toxic deals combat damage to a player, that player gets an additional poison counter. Every creature you control with Toxic gains Death Touch until end of turn if you pay 1 colorless, a swamp, and a forest. I need to get better at getting the names right for the color combinations. Creatures you control get +2/+2 until end of turn. Whenever a creature blocks this turn, its controller gets a poison counter. Phyrexia Knight. Toxic 6. Ooh, Paladin of Predation can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. Yikes. Venomous Brutalizer. Toxic 3. When Venomous Brutalizer enters the battlefield, you may pay 1 colorless and 1 forest. If you do, proliferate. That's a lot of proliferating. Here Sacrifice. Sky Scythe Engulfer. Reach Trample. Can't be blocked by creatures with flying. Artifact Equipment. Bolshevik Splitter. Looking, equipped creature gets +2/+0. Equip 2. And a mountain. Leonin Lightbringer. Pretty cool little cat creature. Mirren Bardic. That one's cool looking too. Red Rebel. Island. Cool. I got the full art island in foil. That thing is sick looking. Dude, the islands and stuff are just so sick. I want to build a deck with some things just because they just look so pretty. Look at that art card. So many of these cards are just so beautiful. This set had a lot of love put into it. What it feels like. I didn't get a bad card yet. Not really. A lot of fun little cards. Give me a second. I need to reorganize. Okay. I got 2 more packs left in the first column. We're getting some really good hits already. And I'm not even through the first column yet. Also, if you notice, I cut my fingers up and stuff a little bit at work today. Alright. We got Miglos, Maze Crusher, Legendary Creature. Maze Crusher enters the battlefield with 5 oil counters on it. Remove an oil counter from Miglos. It gains Vigilance and Menace until end of turn. Remove 2 oil counters from Miglos. It gains +2/+2 until end of turn. Remove 3 oil counters from Miglos that destroy target creature or enchantment. What are you doing? That one's in foil too. That one's sick looking. The rare. That Planeswalker. The Eternal Wanderer. Ooh. Exile up to 1 target artifact or creature. Return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of that player's next end step. Create a 2/2 white samurai creature token with double strike. For each player, choose a creature that player controls. Each player sacrifices all creatures they control. Not chosen this way. That is crazy. Alright. That is a crazy Planeswalker. It's a fun little Planeswalker. I'm getting a few Planeswalkers. I got 2 of them. 2 of them so far. I got another rare. Flying Melee. If this creature attacks, it gets 1/1 until end of turn for each opponent you attack this combat. Lieutenant, as long as you control your commander, other creatures you control have melee. Oh boy. Bone Picker Scourge again. Another Expand the Spear uncommon. Got a lot of commons, but I got a lot of uncommons and stuff too. They balance out so well. Look at the top 6 cards of your library. Put up to 2 land cards from among them onto the battlefield tapped, and the rest on the bottom of your library in any random order. If you have fewer than 2 lands onto the battlefield this way, proliferate a number of times equal to the difference. Ooh. That's pretty nutty. Viral Spawning. Create a 3/3 Phyrexian Beast creature token with Toxic 1. Corrupted. As long as the opponent has 3 or more poison counters and Viral Spawning is in your graveyard, it has flashback 2. And a forest. Ooh, uncommon. You draw 3 cards and lose 3 life. Each opponent who has 3 or more poison counters loses 3 life. Dude, that's crazy. You can kill him so quickly with poison. Target creature gets +4/+4 until end of turn. Titanic Growth. I think I have that one on Arena. Lattice Blade Mantis. Super cool looking. Enters the battlefield with 2 oil counters on it. Whenever Lattice Blade Mantis attacks, you may remove an oil counter from it. If you do, untap it, and it gets 1/1 until end of turn. Artifact Vehicle. Meldweb Strider. Enters the battlefield with an oil counter on it. Remove an oil counter from Meldweb Strider. It becomes an artifact creature until end of turn. Through 3. I think the rest is just commons too. Common. And a land and an art card. That thing is sick looking. How many of these cards just look so nice, dude? Oop. Hey, start going through these a little quicker. Keep talking about doing it, but I don't know. I kind of like taking my time with it. I'm enjoying it more than if I were just rushing through it, because I'm experiencing these for the first time. Lattice Blade Mantis. Ooh. Here in Safe House. What's this one? Common? Rare. As long as Mirror Safe House is on the battlefield, it has all activated abilities of all land cards and all graveyards. That sounds wild. And Darkslick Shores enters the battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or fewer lands. That one is not a foil. Just a full art. Really nice looking though. That's going in the land's hand. Sinew Dancer. Another one of these handsome fellows. Infectious Bite. Ravenous Necrotian. Bad Emergence. Onto the battlefield under your control. Proliferate. There's a lot of Proliferate. Kill one Proliferate. Another uncommon. Tiber Stance. Or Tiber Stand. Copper Long Legs. We're gonna run through these ones really quickly. Like I said, I think I'm going too slow with some of these. I'm just trying to enjoy myself. Art card, baby. Super dope. Okay, we're going to try to get through these relatively quickly, so I'm going to start going fast now. I should just throw them on the board, but I like organizing as I go for some reason. Like I said, I like taking my time with things. I don't like rushing them too much. There we go. But just in case people maybe get annoyed watching me do this, I'm gonna go a little bit quicker. Alright, Secret Lair. Infectious Bite. Low Bad Iron Goblin. Furnace Publisher. That thing looks cool as hell. First, we're gonna read this one. Slow Bad Iron Goblin. Sacrifice an artifact, add an amount of red mount. I'm just gonna read the names actually. Slow Goblin. So y'all can pause the video probably to see them. Infectious Bite. Furnace Punisher. That thing is cool looking. In the beginning of each player's upkeep, Furnace Punisher deals 2 damage to the player unless they control 2 or more basic lands. Light Belly Rat. That thing is cool looking. I like all these little borderless cards. Dude, this is crazy out the gate. Artifact creature, Phyrexian Wizard. X damage to any target where X is the number of permanents you control with oil counters on them. A lot of oil. Anchor Bloom. Voidwing Hybrid. Painted Observer. Come on, you. Molten Rebuke. 5 damage to target creature Planeswalker. Destroy target equipment. Minor Disruption. Hazardous Blast. And Phyrexian Swamp card. I like a lot of these lands, dude. There's so many art cards. Ooh, that one's sick. Has a little logo on it. This one to the side, and we're just gonna continue. I guess we'll continue it this way, just to get it over with a little bit faster. Okay. Go through this somewhat quickly. Ultra Complete. That one's a mythic, actually. Living weapon, indestructible. Equipped creature gets +5/+5 and has first strike, trample, indestructible, haste. And whenever this creature deals combat damage to a creature, exile that creature. Equip 7. That is a crazy mythic artifact. That is nuts. I like that. This is another Drake. Yep. What is that? Archfiend of the Dross. Flying Archfiend of the Dross enters the battlefield with 4 oil counters on it. At the beginning of your upkeep, remove an oil counter from Archfiend of the Dross. Then, if it has no oil counters on it, you lose the game. This is a lose con. Every creature opponent control dies, this control loses 2 life. Fun little rare. That is sick looking. Quicksilver Fisher. That is cool looking. Artifact creature. Cephalopod Sentry. That's cool. Ambulatory Edifice. Bell of Assimilation. The Eldred's Edict. Or Edict. Choose 1. Each opponent sacrifices on creature token. Each opponent sacrifices a creature token. Each opponent sacrifices a Planeswalker. Oof. I'll choose Planeswalker. Get rid of their Planeswalker. Land. Sphere. Hunter Maze enters the battlefield tapped. Add 1 forest or add 1. Okay, I think I read that one earlier actually. Coming back to me the more I look at these things. Maze Skull Bomb. Come on. There you go. Maze's Mantle. Island. Super dope. I get so many of these really pretty art cards, dude. Do these all just come with art cards? Come on, you. It's sick looking. All these art cards are just really, really nice looking. It looks like I'm just grabbing them at random now. But we're about halfway through the entire set we got. Let's see. Quicksilver Fisher. Blade of Shared Souls. That thing is interesting looking. Blade of Shared Souls becomes attached to a creature for as long as Blade of Shared Souls remains attached to it. You may have that creature become a copy of another target creature you control. Ooh, would you do damage the same too? Creature enters the battlefield, create a 2/2 red rebel creature token, then attach it to this. Never mind. Ooh, what's that one? Sawblade Scamp. That one's cool looking. I like these arts, dude. Cinder Slash Ravager. Artifact creature. Blade Golem. Dude, that one's a good card too. Bitterfang. Interesting looking card. Battlefield with 3 oil counters on it. Beginning of combat on your turn, you may remove an oil counter from Skitterfang. When you do, target creature you control gains your choice of flying, vigilance, death touch, or lifelink until end of turn. Testament Bearer. Cutthroat Centurion. Sawblade Scamp. Ruthless Predation. Predator Steward. Or Predation Steward, sorry. And a Plains. We got a... Ooh, that's a sick looking art card. I like that. It's getting crazy over here, so start organizing. Just to get cards out of my way. But we will, like I said, we'll look at them, count them all up, and see how many uncommons and stuff we got. Or not really count them, but I'll just spread them. And show y'all how many we got out of this entire set. It's crazy how many rares and uncommons we get. I'm used to the Spider-Man one where I get a lot of commons. And I get like 3 uncommons towards the end. It's just such a good set. Okay. Furnace Publisher. Punisher. Sick looking. In foil. Super dope. A rare card. Generated Rot Priest. Toxic 1. Whenever a creature you control becomes the target creature of a spell, target opponent gets a poison counter. Kaito Dancing Shadow. That thing is cool looking. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, you may return one of them to its owner's hand. If you do, you may activate loyalty abilities of Kaito twice rather than once. A +1. Up to 1 target creature can't attack and block until end of turn. Draw a card. Create a 2/2 colorless drone artifact creature token with Death Touch, and when this creature leaves the battlefield, each opponent loses life and you gain 2 life. That's a super dope rare. What is that thing? That thing is sick looking. Bladed Ambassador enters the battlefield with an oil counter on it. Remove an oil counter from Bladed Ambassador. Bladed Ambassador gains indestructible until end of turn. That's if he has oil counters on him. Continue Dancer. There's a lot of these beautiful cards, dude. Bladed Onslaught. Infested Flesh Cutter. I think it's super dope looking. Get some more mites with these artifacts too. Swooping Lookout, Flying Vigilance. Common, Shrapnel Slinger. Crawling Chorus, that thing is cool looking. Toxic 1. When Crawling Chorus dies, create a 1/1 colorless Phyrexian Might artifact creature token with Toxic 1, and this creature can't block. That with that Planeswalker would be cool. Equals equal to the number of creatures you control to target creature or Planeswalker. That's cool. An interesting one for a common. At all our lands and our art card. Oh, our cards go here. Well, I'm probably gonna mix these ones up anyways. I just like keeping the art cards and tokens and stuff together. I just realized. Have I been skipping the tokens? I have. All the tokens are under here. Throne, Phyrexian Might, Poison Counter. That's sick looking. Phyrexian Might. Rebel. Phyrexian Might. Phyrexian Goblin. Phyrexian Might. Phyrexian Golem. That one over here. That one over here. I'll put all the tokens together. I just kept getting confused because I didn't see them. Interesting. Alright, next one. I got a few cool Planeswalkers so far. Oh, that's interesting looking. I don't know what that does, but that looks sick. Phyrexian Splicer. Choose Flying. Pay 2, tap, choose Flying, First Strike, Trample, or Shadow. Target creature with that ability loses it until end of turn. Another target creature gains that ability until end of turn. That is cool looking. I could pretty much take the ability from somebody using it and use it myself. That's pretty cool. I don't know where this would go as. Rarity looks like it's a common. 1997 though is crazy work. Put that one there. That's a nice looking card. I don't even know what I got. That's up to y'all to tell me in the comments. Mirkin Smith. Mirkin Smith. Got another land. Creature. Necrogen Rot Priest. Got a few of these guys now. Lightbelly Rat. Come on. Lethal Demolition. Counterspell. Counters target spell with mana value 1 or less. It's funny because this what a lot of them were like 2 or so, 2 or 3. Furnace Punisher. Turn target non-land permanent to its owner's hand if the permanent had mana value 3 or less. Proliferate. Ooh. Like I said, there's a lot of proliferate cards here. Indoctrination Attendant. Toxic 1. Indoctrination Attendant enters the battlefield. You may return another permanent you control to its owner's hand. If you do, create a 1/1 colorless Phyrexian Might artifact creature token with Toxic 1, and this creature can't block. A lot of Might creation. Flying Vigilance. When Malcator's Watcher dies, draw a card. And we got a Forest. And another art card. So this entire set just comes with an art card for each booster that you open. And they're sick looking, dude. I love these things. Alright, we got like a quarter way through, about halfway to a quarter. Not a whole lot left. Got maybe 4 packs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We got 5. We got halfway through a middle column, and we got the last of 1 more column left. Phyrexian Might. And then what is this? Infested Flesh Cutter, and it's in foil. What is that thing? Creature Phyrexian Horror. Damage will be dealt to Phyrexian Vindicator. Prevent that damage. When damage is prevented that way, Phyrexian Vindicator deals that much damage to any other target. So if I get hit, or if somebody hits me, I block with this, it takes the hit. I can choose where that damage goes. That's a fun little mythic. Continue Dancer, I think. Yep. I'm not looking directly at the card, actually. I'm looking at the screen whenever I go to read the card, so. Okay, Uberant Useling, Charforger, on you, Charforger, Artifact Creature, Phyrexian Cat, Mandible Justicar, Justiciar, Forcer, Branch Blight Stalker. Sorcery. Destroy target artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying. If that permanent has mana value 3 or less, proliferate. A lot of proliferating. Lands. In foil. I think it's sick looking. I like the foil lands so much. They just look so pretty, dude. And these art cards I just can't get over. Looks like Godzilla. Can't say that don't. Organize. Get a lot of these out of the way. There's so many cards on my desk, dude. I didn't think there was going to be so many of them. That one is a rare. I got a few rare. I got a lot of rares, dude. A lot of rares, a few mythics. I'm kind of balling right now. I didn't get a whole lot of mythics, but I'm getting a few. Ooh, I got another old looking card. What is that? Goss's Embrace. Enchanted creature gets +3/+3, gains trample. What does that mean? Well, this one's like a whitish color, so it looks like it'd be a rare. Looks crazy looking. I want to say that's a rare. That looks like a rare. Oh, I put that in the mythics by accident. Rare. Mythics. This one. Ooh, Galaxian Raptor. That's cool looking. Or, what does it say? Ataxian? 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 Can't read that right. Mind Splice Apparatus. A nice rare. Beginning of your upkeep, put an oil counter on Mind Splice Apparatus. Instant and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each oil counter on Mind Splice Apparatus. Tall Blades Camp. Enigmatic Sprinter. Urabrask's Anoider. Turning Reservoir. Font of Progress. Transplant Theorist. The battlefield under your control, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. So draw a card, discard a card. The common, Ballistic Shepherd. Fair Basilisk. Another one I can sacrifice. I'm gonna put all my lands and stuff away when I'm done. Basilisk Skull Bomb. And an art card, baby. Super dope. We're just about getting there with the first column. We got 3 left after this pack. We're getting places. I have so many cards on my desk right now. That, my friend, is not a booster. Not a booster, a Plague Nurse. Toxic 2. Each other creature you control with Toxic gains Toxic 1 until end of turn. Activate only once each turn. Mixol. Got him again. The Might Overseer. That one's pretty dope. Nice little rare. Quicksilver Fisher. Super dope common. Resistant Sky Warden. Super dope uncommon. Oxida Finisher. Affinity for Equipment. Trample. Uncommon. Psyblock. Yeah, Psyblock. Battle Chair. That one's cool looking. Creature gets +4/+4 and has trample. I think it's cool looking. Uncommon. Atmosphere Surgeon. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put an oil counter on Atmosphere Surgeon. Already read that one earlier. Thirsting Roots. That one's cool. Here's a library for basic land card, reveal it, put it in your hand, and shuffle. Proliferate. Proliferate, proliferate, proliferate. Each time. Doom over. Plague Nurse. Mountain. I keep getting so shocked because I see the white and I think it's some kind of crazy card, but it's an art card most of the time, which is fine. I like these art cards. They're super pretty. Okay. I'm getting through them relatively quickly. Only almost an hour of just opening cards. I'm opening an entire box of these, so please don't beat me up too bad. I'm reading them slowly for the fun of it. Marika, Brutal Gladiator. Another rare. Must be blocked if able, as long as it's your turn. She has indestructible. Deals damage to a creature. If that creature was dealt excess damage this turn, that creature's controller sacrifices a non-creature, non-land permanent. She's so cool looking. My mythics are mixing together with my rares. Go over there, mythics. There's just so much cards on my desk. Common. That one's an interesting rare. Rhea Ivor, Bane of Bladeold. That's cool. Battle Cry. Whenever this creature attacks, each other attacking creature gets a +1/+0 until end of turn. At the beginning of combat on your turn, the next time target creature would deal damage to one or more players this combat. Prevent that damage. If damage prevented this way, create that many 1/1 colorless artifact or Phyrexia Might artifact creature tokens with Toxic 1, and this creature can't block. Super cool rare. I like that one. That one's dope. Thrumming Bird. That thing is just cool looking. Does combat damage to a player proliferate. These are so many fun cards. A lot of proliferating cards. You can just boost and boost and boost. X-Cold Halberd. Bladehold War Whip. Prosthetic Injector. Reject Imperfection. A lot of proliferate cards in here. Zealots Conviction. Duelist of the Deep Faith. Smith. And we got a foil Phyrexian Island. Dude, these islands are just so sick looking. I just play them in decks just for the fun of it. I think this is how it goes. The upside down. I think that's it. Can't tell how it goes. It looks weird. Okay. We got 2 more packs left of the second column, so we're getting to the end. Sorry, this is taking forever. I have so much stuff on my desk now, it's not even funny. Phyrexian Goblin. Let's see. Geth, Thane of Contracts. Other creatures you control get -1, -1. I wouldn't play this card. It's like a double-edged sword. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains if this creature would leave the battlefield, exile it instead, putting it anywhere else. Activate only as a sorcery. That kind of like a double-edged sword. I wouldn't play it. Not me personally, but it's cool. It's in foil. Did I get 2 of those back to back? I did. I got 2 of them back to back. One in foil and one in not in foil. That's interesting. Traveling Cultivator. Rebel Salvo. Resistance Reunited. Waken the Sleeper. Mere Custodian. Paramorphic Expanse. This comes in handy. Fetch lands. I like fetch lands. Phyrexian Atlas. Another artifact you can tap for mana. Really fun one. Where's my comments? Oh, there's my comments. I'm losing my brain. Contagious Vorak. I'm not reading all that. That's crazy. I see Proliferate. I'll read it if I go to build a deck and was looking at this entire set. Toxic 1. These are all going back in the box, by the way. And then when I get ready to build from them, I'll open the box and I'll look at some of the cards and pull some stuff out. and build with it. I could probably build a full deck with this entire set just because of how good the pools have been. I can make an entire set with all this. How did I get two Thanes though? Two cards that I wasn't really interested in. It's a cool card, but it's a double-edged sword. I wouldn't use it. Because then your shit just gets exiled. Especially if it dies from that -1/-1, Bane of Progress. Bane of Progress enters the battlefield, destroy all artifacts and enchantments, put a 1/1 counter on Bane of Progress for each permanent destroyed that way. That's pretty broken. That would come in handy, for sure. Titanic Growth. I can't read it. He's in foil. He's sick looking. I have him in, whatchamacallit, Arena. Ethic. Crucible Goliath. At the beginning of your end step, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a non-legendary creature card with lesser mana value. Go onto the battlefield. Then put the rest in the bottom of your library in any random order. Okay. I'm getting a lot of rares. Silver Fisher. Uncommon. This is battlefield, put 4 foil counters. Draw a card. This ability costs 1 less to activate each other artifact you control. Uncommon. Common Hummingbird. Vivisection and Evangelist. Corrupted. Instant. This spell costs 3 more to cast if it targets a creature. Exile target non-land permanent. So if I'd have to pay 6 in total to use this. Bring the ending. Counter target spell unless its controller pays +2 extra. If I was a blue player, I would use it. I don't use a lot of blue. Each opponent sacrifices a creature or planeswalker and gets a poison counter. I play a lot of red, black, and white. Blightbelly Rat. This is the first Blightbelly Rat I got that's the original art. And then I got a Phyrexian Mountain. That's sick looking. So many of these cards are just so sick looking. Just to look at them. It's crazy how many rares I got so far too, dude. I got like a full stack of like limited in there. Alright, we got one more stack left of like 8. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna burn through these. Somewhat quickly, but not super quickly. Phyrexian Might. Alright. Leonin Lightbringer. Green Sun's Twilight. Reveal the top X+1 cards of your library. Choose a creature card and or land card from among them. Put those cards into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order if X is 5 or more. Instead, put the chosen cards on the battlefield or into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. That's crazy. Another rare. Whenever an equipped creature you control other than Rook, Hexgold, Nabber attacks or dies, you may attach all equipment attached to that creature to Rook. Ooh! So if something equipped dies, it just gets transferred over. That's pretty fun. That's fun for Voltron. Not as like Commander, but it's cool. I don't think I would Commander him. Drown and Acre. That's a really good card. I'd like to keep this card in some of my other decks. I'm gonna put him in my Azula deck. Put a few Proliferate in there. Uncommon. Skitterling. Axiom Engraver. Oilborger Troll. Prophetic Prism. Little Mono Rock. Goldhorn Helm. And we got a Foil Mountain. Ooh, that is sick looking. I don't think it'll focus that well, but that is fucking sick. It changed the saturation for it when I was trying to show it too. Yeah, it's turning red. My hands are turning red for some reason. Alright, we got one more stack left. So far, this has been pretty damn good. I got some pretty good stuff out of this entire set. And that's not even a joke. Got a cat token. Trustfine Cultivator. Artifact, Monument of Perfection. Search your library for a basic, Spear, or Logos land card. Put it, or reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. Monument of Perfection becomes a 9/9 Phyrexian construct. Artifact creature. Loses all abilities and gain indestructible and toxic 9. Activate only if there are 9 or more lands with different names among the basic, spear, and locust lands you control. That's crazy. Crazy. Crazy, crazy work. See, if I remember correctly, toxic works to where if you do 10 damage with toxic, it's over. So doing 9 in total is crazy as it goes. Porcelain Zealot. Or Zealot. Jawbone Duelist. Listening Seer. Quicksilver Fisher. That's the first time I'm getting original art too, I think, for the Quicksilver. Bolshak Splinter. Leonin. Lightbringer. Another little equipment. Fun little equipment. And then we got a Forest. And not foil. And the art card. I just want to be nice and show the art cards. Just for fun. Okay. Got a few more of these left. Please. Give me the lady. Give me Shieldred. Armored Scapegourger. Goodness, all my cards are sliding. Phyrexian Beast, Armored Scapegourger gets +3/+0 as long as it has 3 or more oil counters on it. Add 1 mana of any color, so it's a mana dork. Whenever Armored Scapegourger becomes tapped, exile target card from a graveyard and put an oil counter on an Armored Scapegourger or Scrapgorger. Ooh, that's a fun little rare. Malcator Purity Overseer. When Malcator Purity Overseer enters the battlefield, create a 3/3 colorless Phyrexian Golem artifact creature token. At the beginning of your end step, if 3 or more artifacts enter the battlefield under your control this turn, create a 3/3 Phyrexian Golem artifact creature token. So I create 2 tokens based off of this trigger for each at the beginning of each end step. If I have 3 or more artifacts entered in the battlefield under your control this turn. So if I just have an artifact deck and I'm placing 3 and 3 and 3, this deck can go crazy. Okay, cool. Like I said, my fun is getting to just look at cards and just get ideas based off of them. I was gonna build the Necrobloom. I think the Necrobloom was gonna be in my options list of what I was thinking of, just for fun as well. Anchorbloom, cool. I could do a Necrobloom because I got a full borderless Necrobloom that I want to make something out of. Slaughter Singer. Fireless Skull Dweller. Old Dweller. Yes, Skull Dweller. Noxious Assault. Creatures you control get +2/+2 until end of turn. Whenever a creature blocks this turn, its controller gets a poison counter. Bladed Ambassador. Enters the battlefield with an oil counter on it. Remove an oil counter from Bladed Ambassador. Bladed Ambassador gains indestructible until end of turn. There's a lot of uncommons that are really good in here. Phyrexian Beast. Barbed Batterfist. +1, -1. Interesting. Bladegraft Aspirant. Aspirant's Ascent. I feel like these are in order now. Plains. Art card. That's sick. There's so many sick little cards in here. I'm enjoying this set so far. Been a lot of crazy uncommons, but I've been getting I got a lot of fun mythics in the beginning. In the beginning I was getting a lot of fun stuff, and now it's kind of dying down. Mythics are going crazy there for a little bit. I still might build out of the Necrobloom, I'm not sure yet. I might do a plant deck if I do that. Ominous Seas. Whenever you draw a card, put a foreshadow counter on Ominous Seas. Remove 8 foreshadow counters from Ominous Seas. Create an 8/8 blue Kraken creature token. That's cool. And it has land cycling. Or it just has cycling. Ooh, got another one of those. Getting a lot of rares. Another rare. Skrelev. Effector Might. Toxic 1. Effector Might can't block. Choose a color. Another target creature you control gains Toxic 1 and Hexproof from the color until end of turn. It can't be blocked by creatures of that color this turn. That's super handy. Ooh. Is it a mythic? I can't tell. Won't focus. Yep. Nissa. I got Nissa. Create an XX green Phyrexian horror creature token where X is Nissa Ascended Animus Loyalty. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. Until end of turn, creatures you control get +1/+1 for each force you control and gain trample. I've seen people use Nisa before. You use toxic counters to place her? I think that's what it is. Create XX green Phyrexian horror creature tokens where X is Nisa Ascended Animus loyalty. That's a sick looking card though, dude. That's a sick mythic. Let's find Cultivator. Once again. Hello there, fella. Paladin of Predation. Venomous Brutalizer. Expand the Spear. Botanic Growth. Lattice Blade Mantis. Willed Web. Free the Flesh. And a Plains Phyrexian style. Little art card. So far, we got some pretty good hits. I got a shit ton of rares that I did not expect. Got a lot more than I ever get out of any of the Spider-Man ones. That I will say. How to play Magic. Skywrath Engulfer. Oops. Kaya Intangible Slayer. Each opponent loses 3 life and you gain 3 life. You may draw 2 cards, then opponent may scry 1, exile target creature or enchantment. If it wasn't an aura, create a token that's a copy of it, except it's a 1/1 white spirit creature with flying. That's a pretty dope. Planeswalker. It seems like I'm getting more and more rares the lower I go. Ballblade Scamp. I like a lot of these pretty looking cards though, dude. I don't care what their worth is. These ones. Viral Spawner. That one's cool. Create a 3/3 green Phyrexian beast creature token with Toxic 1. Corrupted. As long as the opponent has 3 or more poison counters and Viral Spawning is in your graveyard, it has flashback 2. Be the Infection. You draw 3 cards and you lose 3 life. Infectious Bite. Panic Sentry. Proper Long Legs. Gataxian Chapter? Gataxian? Fraction? Gataxian? Anatomist. Offer Immortality. Target creature gains Death Touch and Indestructible until end of turn. One little instant. Basic. Mountain. And an art card. God, I've been taking forever. I got 4 packs left. Don't worry, we are almost done. I got 4 packs left. I'm sorry, I've been taking my time. I would usually just scroll through them and be like blam, 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 but I've never seen the set before. Like, I've never opened a set of these before, so I wanted to take my time with them. So I am sorry. Make new friends. Phyrexian Might. Joke's on you, I don't have those. I have a very few of those. Incubation Sac against the battlefield with 3 oil counters on it. Remove an oil counter from Incubation Sac. Create a 3/3 colorless Phyrexian Golem. Artifact creature token. Activate only as a sorcery. Nice little foil version. Got a spear. Put that in my lands category. Did I put that in my lands or my rares? I think I'll put that in my lands for now. It'll get put in my lands box. If I need to go through and build the deck, I can just put a bunch of the spears and stuff in here. Common. Ravenous Necrosian. I would usually just go through it like, you know, this. Like, just quickly go through them. We're going to go through them like this. Just throw them down quickly. Bad Emergence. Bad of Rebirth. If a Surgeon's Insight. Surgical Bay. That's cool land. Artifact. Sacrifice Surgical Skull Bomb. Draw a card. That's a different version of that says Surgical Skull Bomb. That's cool looking. Roll a possibility. As an additional cost to cast a spell, discard a card, draw 2 cards. I kind of want to mix cards from House of Horror and this set because it fits kind of like that horror cryptid kind of theme. I want to get some poison counter, draw a card. And then a land, swamp land. And an art card. That's sick. That's Jace, I believe, is what's his name is Jace. Dude, I've been taking my time with these. I just got home at like 7. I've been in this since the beginning. Only ones I didn't get are probably Nisa. Or no, I got Nisa. I didn't get Sheoldred or what's her face? What's her face? The one that stops your abilities. Enforcer. Orthodoxy Enforcer. Also, don't get offended if I don't remember the card names. I have bad memory at times when it comes to names, at least with cards. Dragonwing Glider. I think it's cool looking. That my rare category over here. Ugh. Mythic. I think. Or it's not a mythic. Nope. Uncommon. Sword of Curiosity. And here you sacrifice. Ever stand. Oh shit. Okay, never mind. I am doing that right. Escaped Experiment. Experimental Augury. Anoint with Affliction. That's cool. Exile target creature if it has mana value 3 or less. Gold Webbed Curator. Bolt Charge. And a Forest. I believe we got 2 packs left. That thing is sick looking. Norm. Or Norn. I think that was her name, is Norn. That's the one I'm missing. We got 2 packs left. We got this pack and 1 more. Good luck, baby. Probably not gonna happen, but we will put our hopes on the line here. We got a Samurai in there. Samurai token. Ambulatory Edifice. Cool little uncommon card. Luca Bound to Ruin. I didn't get the Phyrexian one. Add a... Can't read it hardly. I'll just read it like this. Oh god, the text is so small. Add a forest and a mountain. Spend this mana only to cast creature spells or activate abilities of creatures, or you can -1. Create a 3/3 green Phyrexian beast creature token with Toxic 1, or -4. Luca deals X damage divided as you choose among any number of creatures. Enter Planeswalkers where X is the greatest power among creatures you controlled as you activated this ability. Cool. I've only ever seen him in the Phyrexian print. I've never seen him in the in English print. Super cool mythic though. I got a bunch of Planeswalkers. Hummingbird. Blightbelly Rat. I've been getting a lot of those Blightbellies. Incubation Sac. Unctus's Retrofitter. Ribskiff. Sheoldred's Head Cleaver. Okay, we got the Head Cleaver. I'm getting everything related to Sheoldred. Duress. Whisper of the Dross. Dickerson Slicer. And we got a Forest and Phyrexian. We got a nice little art card. These are some pretty damn art cards, dude. I can't get over how good these art cards look. There's so many good cards in this set, dude. It's just a nice looking set altogether. I can't be mad with any of my pulls because they just look really good. Alright, last pack of this entire set. So let's go ahead and open these. I got so much stuff towards Sheoldred, but I didn't get Sheoldred. I don't think I'm gonna get her. Malira's Keepers. That's an interesting looking card. Malira's Keepers can't have counters placed on it, and this one is a rare, I believe. Yeah, I can see the color, it's rare. That's nice. I like that. A rare card. Tyrannax Atrocity. Common. Seed Core. Rare. Put that in the lands though. Furnace Punisher. Yep, Furnace Punisher. Common. Necrosquito. Common. Armored Scrap Gorger. Uncommon. Evolving Adaptive. Common. Against All Odds. Uncommon. Now we're breaching our common area. Spear. Draws Pits. Enters the battlefield. Tapped, as you know. Draw Skull Bomb. Common. Roll Grimnark. Roll Grimnark enters the battlefield. Each opponent discards a card for each opponent who can't. You gain 4 life. Interesting. Nice little common. Mesmerizing Dose. Basic land. And another art card. That's the end of the pool. I didn't get Norn or Sheoldred, but I doubted getting Sheoldred. I didn't see that happening, but I will show y'all the mythics I did get, which are these ones here. Luca Bound to Ruin, Nisa, Phyrexian Vindicator, Ultra Complete, Compleot, Discaria, Nahiri, then Forgiving, and Solfim, Mayhem, Dominus. These are all the mythics. This one is a full art, really, really nice card. And then we got, I think I have the Necrobloom somewhere, but I don't think it's from the same set. I think it's from a different set completely. Here's our rares. Just to show y'all. I should probably do it this way from now on, and showing off the rares and stuff at the end. Chain of Progress, Geth again, Rhea Ivor, Marika, Night Overseer, Niglos, Gara's Embrace, Indicator's Rot Priest, Kaito, Slowbad Iron Goblin, Blade of Shared Souls, Archfiend of the Dross, Mirren Safe House, Sky Hunter Strike Force, Eternal Wonder, Miglos, the Filigree Silex, Collector Ophi. I think I would make something out of him, just because he's so interesting looking. It's only if I can find enough rats to put in there. But I can only do a few of those Blightbelly rats. I could do some vampires, do a vampire deck and do a bunch of Phyrexian vampires and rats. Be cool, with a bunch of Toxic and life gain. Soulless Jailer. And then the last one's Venser, Corpse Puppet. That one's cool as hell looking. I just think a lot of these cards just look really sick. I know I've been talking about Sheoldred the entire time, but that's because I know she's a card that everybody hates, and I just wish I at least owned it. So that's all that matters, just owning the card. This is how many uncommons I got, if you were curious. So I got kind of a pretty solid hit, actually. My commons are actually a lot less than I thought I was going to end up with. This is all my commons. I'm not going to go through each of them individually, but there's a lot of really nice commons in there that I can use in some of these separate decks as like interactions or toxic gain, which are going to be a lot of fun. Against all odds, all this stuff. This is all the uncommons if it'll focus. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I will like go through some of them. Drown the Ichor, I got like 3 of them, I think. I got a pretty nice amount of uncommons. This was a really good set. I was really happy with this set. I got a lot of rares, a lot of good stuff, and this was just from one play booster box. I don't usually even get that many good hits from like even the more like new ones. So this was actually a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this. I might get another box of this just so I can open up some of these boxes and just try to see what I can get and make some more toxic stuff. This was a lot of fun. I enjoyed this. I want to play with the toxic command, make a toxic commander. If I look closely, I think I might have her Necrobloom somewhere. I'll have to look and see if I can find it. If I get the House of Horror one, I'm getting a House of Horror one soon and a Dragonstorm one soon. So I can make an Ur-Dragon deck, which I know a lot of people are going to down me for that because Ur-Dragon's heavily played. But I would like to do an Ur-Dragon deck just for the fact that I can do a Wooburg Dragon deck with that entire thing. But I got some really fun lands too. My Assassin's Creed ones are mixed in here too from the last session, so those are all in here. Got a lot of lands to play with and build from, which is going to be awesome. And let me see if I can find that Necrobloom, just so I can show y'all. This has all my randomized sets in it. So if I look and I see, this is all my random stuff that I can use to build with from different sets and boosters I've opened. Coolcaster Mage, these are cards that I have sleeved that are just sitting in here. Let's see. Chemistry. There's a lot of things in here from different sets that I haven't really played with that much. Starscape Cleric. There's a lot of fun stuff in here that I just don't look at. I know I want to build a deck out of the Jolly Balloon Man. I've seen Charlie play as the Lord of Pain, so I was thinking of that one, but I was going to make a deck out of the Jolly Balloon Man when I get my other set in. I forgot I have Toby, DC Finder, in here. I might put him in the same deck with Jolly Balloon Man so I can get some token build up in that one, just because he does. Oh, Admiral Brass, that was the one I was going to put in the Edward Kenway deck, but I don't think her color scheme is the same. But she is a pirate, so like I said, I could do a bunch of pirate stuff, just a bunch of fun stuff in general to do. Captain Storm, another pirate creature from it wasn't Aether Drift, there was another one. It was the hard to pronounce one, the Caverns. Reb Tithe Extractor. Let's see, where are you, buddy? I just saw you the other day. I'm just gonna be quick about this just to show, because these are just all my random booster sets that I've opened. This isn't like anything super important. I know I got a Galvanic Discharge. Cool. There it is, Necrobloom. If it'll load. Not in foil, but it is sick looking. Actually, I think it is in foil. No, it's not. It's just cool looking though. I can build out of that too. Dope. I would like to build out of that one. Jolly Balloon Man, that one. I have Balrog too from Lord of the Rings. Old Man Willow, Lord of the Rings. Palaka Worm. There's a lot of stuff in this entire box that I got going on. Some of it's good, some of it's not great, but it's a lot of fun. I just enjoy Magic the Gathering more than I used to. Like I'm super into it now than I used to be. It's such a shame that I didn't get to play it too much back then, but this was the Necrobloom. I wanted to build a deck out of this one and put a bunch of plant creatures. I will do a bunch of landfall and toxic probably. I know it would be best to do this with graveyard. Land cards in your graveyard have dredge too. Yeah, this is going to be a lot of graveyard play. Okay, whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, create a 0/1 green plant creature token. If you control 7 or more lands with different names, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token instead. This is going to be an interesting build. So I need to figure out what I want to do with this one. This one's going to be interesting. I can make it token based and do a lot of, or focus on landfall, add a bunch of lands to it. Add some zombie tokens, just in case I can do different land, or different named land, and focus on graveyard play. There's going to be a lot of stuff I could do with this one, but I don't know how to go about it right now. I need to break apart some of my precons too that I don't use, and use some of those cards, and make the most with some of those. But if any of y'all have any recommendations down below, leave me a comment, I guess. Jolly Balloon Man is probably going to be my next build, though. That's going to be my focus build. I got a lot of rares in here. A lot of rares and a lot of mythics. Mainly rares though, but that's pretty much going to be the end of this video. I got a lot of Spider-Man stuff too. Like I got a shit ton of boxes. Like if you haven't seen the pictures yet, I'll post them on the YouTube post platform. Anyways though, hope you guys enjoyed. I've been talking my brain off this entire time. I hope you guys enjoyed. It was a lot of fun. I need to open some more boxes. I'm getting House of Horror on Christmas, and I believe Dragonstorm and Final Fantasy. So we're gonna open up a bunch of boxes for YouTube. I opened up a few boosters by myself, like Spider-Man and Spider-Man. I got a Spider-Man Noir full art, which was pretty cool. But that's pretty much all I got. Besides Doc Ock, Gwen Stacy, Miles Morales, and Peter Parker. Those ones are all good flip cards. But I built decks out of those already, and those ones are pretty interesting to play. I need to buff them because they're really weak right now. I built them out of the same set because it's all I had at the time. So I need to go through and buff them and focus on adding more cards that trigger the commander. Anyways though, I had a lot of fun. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you all in the next one. And with that, peace.